I hope these classes.
Security personnel are all over the place, to ensure that law and order is in check. And you also have health workers to forestall any medical disaster. So I think the organizers got this right in terms of provision of security measures and healthcare measures as well. And the school kids are here, as you can see, they're right behind me to watch great tennis being played, as well as show support to the players in terms of cheers, laughter, smiles, and obviously ovation. Having said all of that, the atmosphere is good, the weather is conducive enough for tennis to be played, the rains are holding forth, and the sunshine isn't at its scorching peak. So it's a really great weather at this point in time for tennis to be played. The doubles final was played earlier, as well as the men's final. As I said, it's the singles ladies final currently ongoing. Let's watch some action. And here she goes, the first serve. It's in and it's out, and it's 6-1. 6-1 in the tiebreak. India's fault. She's going for another serve, and it's out, and Pranjali has won. She has won. What a massive 2 weeks it is for the Indian. She just clinched the second singles ladies title, a second title in as many weeks. 6-1, 7-6, 7-2, the tiebreaker ended. What's a championship?
AP government for sponsoring, and I think the Lagos crowd was really awesome, like supportive, and I was just trying to push, and then in the tiebreak I was like, okay, come on, push this one, otherwise it's going to be like really tough the third set. So I was just, because she's a good player, like she doesn't leave, and she's really experienced as well, so I need to be really focused and really keep up my game to the level where I can defeat her.
It's the men's singles final right here at the Lagos Open, and it's between Frenchman Tom Jumby and Great Britain's Jack Draper. It must be said that it's been a stroll in the park for the Frenchman. Still on, Jack Draper with a forehand top spin. Jack Draper with a hand out, and that's it. Tommy Jumby has sealed the first set 6-1. Oh no, what's that? No, that's an injury timeout, I guess. Yes, that's what it is. Tom Jumby, the Frenchman, leading by a set 6-1, and with the game delicately poised at 2-2 in the second set, has taken a medical timeout. Yes, he's taking a medical timeout. It's been confirmed, and is receiving treatment to his right knee, and that's going to be shameful, really, if it puts an end to this contest, to this final. And walking right there, and it must be said that his forehand top spin is quite explosive if he gets it right. Sometimes he hits it too deep, too long, and it just goes out wide or too long. But if he gets it on point, it's something that could really trouble the Frenchman, who, must be said, has had a very long day. That's beautiful play. Oops, beautiful. That's tennis at its best. Lovely drop shots there from Jack Draper, and the Frenchman got to it, but he could only spawn it wide for a forced error. Great Britain's Jack Draper squandered 3 championship points while serving for the title, but won the title on the 4th to end Tom Jumby's dominance over him. The 16-year-old continues a strong run dating back to his final run at the Wimbledon Juniors. The men's doubles final pitched the Lock brothers Benjamin and Courtney from Zimbabwe against Tom Jumby and Alexis Klenu. The Africans won in 3 close sets to clinch their biggest doubles.
We knew we were right there, and then second set, we just played those important points, 1 or 2 points, a little bit better than the first set. And then the third set, I think we just, we made important shots on the big points. I mean, it was decided by 2-3 points, so that was the difference. I mean, obviously, it is Africa and we come from Zimbabwe, but in terms of the organization, it's been okay. There's a shuttle every 30 minutes. The referee is very good here. And the crowd was really nice today, and the media does a good job of coming, so we felt very welcome here.
The women's doubles title was won by Bulgarians Julia Terziska and Dutch woman Rosalind van der Herk. Bulgaria's Julia Terziska, who won both women's doubles title at the championship, spoke to Plus TV Africa afterwards.
Well, I really like playing doubles because it's a team sport in a way. In our sport, we are always alone, always on our own on the court. It's always nice to have somebody next to you and fight together as a team. I really enjoyed it. We had a hard week. My partner is pretty sick. She had, I think, very bad bronchitis, so she keeps coughing. But we got through this, so I'm really happy. We won a few big points, and we were holding our serves great. We broke twice, and that was actually the biggest key because we won the 2 sets with 1 break in each set. So I think that's what brought out us the success in the end.
Okay, 2 weeks in Lagos, 2 doubles titles. Are we expecting you next year again?
Yes, expect
okay,
me if
so
everything is fine.
We wish you all the best going forward to next year then.
Thank you, thanks.
The Lagos Open may not have had a Nigerian player at the latter stages. It was still a great championship with intrigues, great tennis on display, and lots of side attractions. The anticipation for the 2019 edition is already peaking. And that's it on today's edition of the show. For more sporting news and information, please do follow us on our social media platforms at Plus TV Africa on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa. Thanks for watching.
Mr. Bello speaking. Who is this?
Hello, Mr. Bello. My name is Gloria, and I'm calling regarding the family savings scheme form you dropped off last week. Do you remember?
Yes. I remember now.
The form is missing your signature. Do you mind stopping by sometime this week?
Don't know if I go do water.
Not a problem. We will come to you.
We go walk to walk with you, oh. No matter where you stay, we get you from mine. We go follow penny price. Say we get you from mine.
This is Plus TV Africa.
When I did it, I was full-on, hands-on on the whole project.
So how did you deal with it? All of that negativity?
I got depressed, obviously. Duh. Haven't you heard?
I've got 2 of the hottest topics currently trending on social media. If you've seen the word Senate trending on Twitter, that's because the Nigerian police force has gone Trump style.
I haven't shared this with anyone, but I reckon I get about like 100 people asking for help a day. That's a fact. I can prove that.
I actually moved back to the cost of overheads, power generation, water. You have to be your own local government. And there are no tax breaks. Many places where, where they realize the small business environment is difficult would offer some kind of tax breaks and incentives. We don't do that out here. We want you to come back. We want you to, to start businesses here, but we're not going to do anything to help you. All my experiences in the past have led me ultimately to where I am now.
Fairness
justness, balance, and credibility, as well as integrity. That's what Plus TV Africa is. The way people are going to be able to trust anything that comes out of this continent is when those who are the storyteller about the continent are reliable, dependable, and credible. Tell the story with the emotion of Africans, with the passion of Africans, with the interest of Africans. The story changes from here right now on Plus TV Africa.
What we do?
Toto, but we were no why you know.
Oh, by pharmacy, said go with Toto.
The shelf life for anything liquid doesn't last more than 2 days.
There's no drug that is a bullet drug that does everything.
Since that time where I carry gonorrhea, I first go hospital first, but it no go. Now I come make that mama. After I use that go, everything don't go.
Why would I want to take an NSC that is not medicinal when I can always take this that is medicinal?
I don't believe in one agbo working for about 10 stores.
Some they carry small pikin come here. They say maybe my pikin no, he never shit since when I born am like 8 days. I go say carry and go hospital. Cannot treat it. Because if I give am agbo now, anything can happen.
But once my problem has been solved, what am I going to do at the hospital?
She is the queen of the oil and gas sector in sub-Saharan Africa. Folorunsho Alakija is one of the richest women in the world. She was born in Ikorodu, Lagos in July 1951. She is one of 52 children of her late father who married 8 wives. At age 7, she traveled to the United Kingdom for her elementary education, returned to Nigeria to attend Muslim High School in Shagamu. She attended Pitman's Central College, London. Folorunsho loves fashion and business, so she studied fashion design in the UK. Nigeria beckoned, and back she went to launch her fashion line called Supreme Stitches. On her return, she won Best Fashion Designer of the Year award. She is a lifelong trustee of the Fashion Designers Association of Nigeria. She married Modukwe Alakija, a lawyer, and they have 4 sons and 2 grandchildren. She got an oil prospecting license in 1993 to drill OPL 216. She is the executive vice chairman of Famfa Oil. Folorunsho is an author, a philanthropist, and owns Rose of Sharon Foundation, which empowers widows and orphans. She briefly displaced Oprah Winfrey as the richest black woman. She reportedly spent about £5 million on her son's destination wedding at the Belhaim Palace. And this is the mogul in 90 seconds.
Hello there, and many thanks for joining us on News on the Hour and Plus TV Africa. I'm David Alabi, and here are the stories making the headlines. Now we begin our news bulletin at this hour with reports that the West African Examination Council has presented attestation certificate and confirmation of school certificate results to President Muhammadu Buhari. The special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, disclosed this on his Twitter handle on Friday. Adesina wrote, quote, "WAEC indefinite strike scheduled period. Justice Kado adjourned the matter till November 8 for the hearing of the motion on notice seeking the interlocutory injunction to stop the strike. The last meeting of the tripartite negotiation committee on the minimum wage had ended in a deadlock after the federal government insisted that it could not pay the 30,000 fees. Instead, 25,000 was the proposed amount, while governors under the aegis of the Nigeria Governors Forum held say that they can only pay 22,500 naira. Meanwhile, the President, Nigeria Labour Congress, Ayuba Wabba, insists on a nationwide strike over the non-implementation of 30,000 naira as the new national minimum wage, despite the National Industrial Court ruling in Abuja, the nation's capital. According to Mr. Wabba, we are not aware of any court ruling and we have not been served any notice. Quote, "We have just concluded our joint organ meeting strike on Friday. The Nigerian Governors Forum had issued a communique after its meeting claiming that state governors can statement to the chairman of the committee, Bapa Dan Agundi. Mr. Garba said the bribery allegation was damaging to his personality. Quote, His Excellency has categorically, the presidency, the excellent by the Catholic counterpart, which the Anglicans.
The new index by Mo Ibrahim Foundation puts Nigeria in the 4th position out of 54 countries in Africa. Gender equality is when people are able to access and enjoy the same rewards, resources, and opportunities regardless of gender. However, the Nigerian reality is that women earn less than men and are less likely to advance their careers as far as men and accumulate less retirement savings.
Women in the childbearing age, it's difficult for them to be as, functional as men of their age. The demands from the home front is more because you find that they keep taking excuses from work. They keep absenting themselves from work because the woman is tied to the child.
In academia, the case of gender equality seems minimal.
Women are doing very well in the academia, and I don't think that, we have those, dynamics at play in the academia.
For women inclusion in politics, cultural practices and traditional institutions are mostly used as a tool to deprive women of the opportunity to make notable changes in the community and governing institutions where policies are made, with some women even denied the right to inherit properties.
If women begin to stand up to some of these things and fight for their rights, that will also help. And then in politics, it is still the same thing. Men don't take women seriously. They feel that, and it still boils down to the economic factors, because politics is all about money. You need money to finance whatever, office you want to run for. And so women, economically, we are disadvantaged.
This begs the question, are there gender-related jobs? And should some jobs be left to a particular gender?
Woman is qualified and the man is qualified. It's possible if there's chance for both, I'll pick two. But first, I will choose a man.
The media has a very important role to play. Behind the camera, the technical crew are mostly men. Cinematographer. And, the women will be the costumier, welfare, makeup artist, and so on and so forth. Those soft rules. And I do not know whether the men should take all the blame, because the women themselves, it is what you study that you will be given. Not that there's a guarantee, because they would rather, if you come for a job interview with a man, I did a study on that, the chances of you getting the job is limited.
It happens everywhere. This gender equality, you meet it even in the church. In the church and the homes, everywhere.
The aim of gender equality in the workplace is to achieve equal outcomes for both women and men, for work and for pay, comparable and equal value, to inclusion in different occupations and industries, including politics and leadership. The wider benefit of this is improved productivity and growth of the economy. Susan Jasper, Plus TV Africa.
You're watching news on the Hour and Plus TV Africa. It's now time to take a quick break. Stay tuned for other stories making the headlines across the African continent and the rest of the world to join us again. Now, former Al-Shabaab commander Mukhtar Robo cleared to run for public office in Somalia. We have details of this and other African stories in this package.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and ruling ANC party's proposed land reforms have come under scrutiny by the white minority who happen to own most of the country's private land since the end of apartheid in 1994. The idea is to redistribute land from whites to blacks, but some white farmers think that emerging black farmers often lack orientation. Some of the white farmers warn against possible economic hold-ups or civil unrest. They are asking for strict compensation to accompany this expropriation scheme. Meanwhile, Trump's regional election. He was one of the founders of Al-Shabaab and trained with Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, but left the militant group in 2012 and surrendered in August last year. Mr. Robo, also known as Abu Mansour, was previously banned from running by central government. But a regional election commission has now cleared him for running for the presidency of Southwest State. The chairman of the Regional Elections Commission said he has a right to run for office as he is a Somali citizen. At least 7 people have been killed and 14 wounded in an attack on a bus heading toward a Coptic country has suffered regular outbreaks of Ebola and Marburg over the years, both high-fatality viral hemorrhagic fevers. Parts of Uganda's western border are about 100 kilometers from sites of an Ebola outbreak taking place in Congo. Health Minister Jane Ruth Acheng said authorities will administer about 2,100 vaccinations covering so-called frontline health personnel working in districts near the border. He said tens of thousands cross the border in both directions weekly for trade and family visits and other purposes.
The news continues after this short break.
Olúwa ṣẹ́gun fún mi. Ó ṣé mo dúpẹ́ dúpẹ́. Gbogbo ilé lẹ fi tó gift. Mo rí ìkan tún ni. Mo ń sọ fún ẹ lójoojúmọ́ pé gbogbo tó ń ṣe fún mi, ọmọ á ṣe fún ẹ nílọ́po. Abiyamọ ayé, abiyamọ ọ̀run. Bẹ́ẹ̀ rí, wọn náà ní bá a rí. Ọmọ á dùn ẹnu. Àbùkù ò ní kàn ẹ́ o. Ayọ̀.
Mami, airtime yín kọ́.
Ṣé ìwọ ti rókun tó gbẹ̀rí? O ti rí ọ̀sà kó gbẹ̀rí? Kò lè gbẹ́ ń bì.
Àmímà.
Àwọn olè ń sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Lórí àtàwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi.
Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ó yá fi sí spíkà.
Wọ́n ń gbọ́ yín.
Ní ẹ̀bùn ńlá tọ́mọ mi gbé wá fèmí yìí. Ọlọ́run á ràn yín lọ́wọ́, ẹ̀yin náà lè ṣerú ẹ̀
Ẹ ṣàmì mo tún ṣàdúrà. Àmímà.
Get 10 times your recharge value to call and browse anyhow. Recharge with *220 star the pin hash to enjoy this offer. Available to new and existing subscribers.
Mr. Anansa, èmi ń gbàdúrà, ìwọ ń polówó ọjà, ìwọ náà borí ẹ̀ wá kó wá gbàdúrà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, á dáa fún ẹ. Ṣé orí bó ti ń tajà fẹ́ lòmíì? Àwọn máa sìn ìwọ náà àdìrú wà dìgbà, ayé àdára, ò ní dààmú.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
A top Turkish official, presidential advisor Yasin Aktay, says he believes Mr. Khashoggi's body was dissolved in acid after being cut up. The only logical conclusion, he said, was that those who had killed the Saudi journalist in Istanbul had destroyed his body to leave no trace behind. However, no forensic evidence has been provided to prove his body was dissolved. Meanwhile, Israel on Friday condemned the killing of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, but said cooperating with Riyadh against Iran was a greater priority. An investigation by Chinese authorities revealed on Friday that a 48-year-old woman attacked a bus driver after she missed her stop was partially responsible for a dramatic crash in southwestern China, which killed all 15 people on board on Sunday. The security footage from the onboard camera released by Chongqing police showed the female passenger yelling at the male driver amidst Japan's restrictive meters to walk there. Workers in the first visa category, Satmiko, the deputy of the Transport Safety.
Welcome to Business News. Now, South African Airways should be shut down. That's a call from the country's new finance minister, Tito Mboweni, during an investor conference in the United States. South African Airways, tagged as one of Africa's biggest airlines, has lost money every year since 2011. The airline has just been given another huge government bailout, this time 5 billion rands. That's an equivalent of about $349 million. According to local reports, the national carrier under former President Jacob Zuma became tied up in politics, sticking with unprofitable international routes and piling up debt. For now, a turnaround plan for the airline is asking the state to provide more than 21 billion rands in equity and debt financing and to tolerate another 3 years of losses while it cuts cost and staff. Its longer-term goal is to convince a big foreign investor, such as another airline, to recapitalize SAA. We're still talking business on the activities from the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. From today, our business correspondent Irene Ubani brings us up to date on all the trades and deals that took place.
It was a bullish trading day at the Nigerian Stock Exchange as the all-share index rose by 0.38 basis points to close at 32,124.94. Market capitalization stood at 11.728 trillion naira and total deals was 2,749. On the list of top gainers was Seplat, which gained 9 naira 50 kobo in its share price from its last close, a 1.54% rise, while Total gained 2 naira, a 1.01% rise. Mobil led the list of top decliners as it plummeted by 13 naira 80 kobo in its share price from its previous close, a 7.82% decline, while CCNN also dropped by 2 naira 25 kobo, a 10% drop. Leading the list of top trades was FCMB with a volume of 103.985 million shares, valued at 158.601 million naira. And on sectorial indices, NSE Insurance was down 1.20%, NSE Oil and Gas was up 0.28%, NSE Banking was up 0.88%, NSE Consumer Goods was down 0.11%, and NSE Industrial was down 0.41%. Irene Ubani for Plus TV Africa.
That's it on Business News. Still ahead on Plus TV Africa News is our roundup in entertainment and sports. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sometimes life has more questions than answers, and every teardrop seems to drown your laughter. But even when it hurts, there's someone who knows, because to me your happiness is just as good as mine, and you will be
in India. Tunde Ednut, a popular social media celebrity, was the first to disclose Wizkid's new asset before Wizkid himself confirmed the purchase after he posted it on his Instagram story. Still on entertainment, D'banj has announced via Instagram that he'll be delaying the release of his new singles as a tribute to the late South African rapper HHP, who passed away on the 24th of October 2018. It will be recalled that he had hinted last week that he would be releasing 2 new singles, Shake It featuring Tiwa Savage and Something for Something with South African rapper Cassper Nyovest. He also shared a video of when he was nominated alongside HHP for the MTV Europe Awards 11 years ago. And that's it on entertainment. I'm Tokumbo Taiwo, and the best in sports coming up right after this.
And on Sports Update this evening, despite qualifying for next year's FIBA Basketball World Cup in China, Portland Trail Blazers guard Al-Farouq Aminu said that the Tigers are still chasing perfection. The Basketball World Cup will start on the 31st of August 2019 and the competition draw to take place on March 16 in Shenzhen. The Tigers are on a winning streak of 9 games on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And please do remember to subscribe to our YouTube page at Plus TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines across the African continent and the rest of the world. To join us again, I'm David Alabi. Many thanks for watching. Good evening.
That money we shoot every person that we know can shoot. We don't let people die there.
You could have killed me for a long period of time.
At that time why I carry gonorrhea.
We have to tackle it holistically.
A day. That's a fact. I can prove that. You know, anyone can argue that I would not be here if not for my education.
Nowhere, baby, we no tire. And baby, for the line we go.